Now, greetings, fellow grade 12s. It's Mr. Shajo here. Welcome to Back to Basics. Now, what is it that you are looking at? Now, we are looking at our prelim 2023, and then we are trying to access now the topics, or rather, we are trying to assess our quadratic sequence, which was given there. Now, they say, you are given that you are having -3, you are having -2, you are having -3, you are having -6, and -11. So, now, what is it that you are going to have here? Right now, they say the first difference of the above sequence also forms a sequence. Determine an expression of the general term of the first difference. Now, one thing that we know, remember, you are given that here this is -3, this is -2, this is -3, and this is -6, and this is -11. Now, they say the first difference, they are saying the first difference here, the first difference here also do what? It forms a what? A sequence, which is indeed true because look, now the first difference here it's going to be given by 1. When you say -3, subtract your -2, what is it that you're going to have here? This is going to be same as -1, and this is going to be same as -3, and this is going to be same as -5. So basically, now we know that our first difference of our quadratic sequence forms a what? Forms an arithmetic, right? It forms an arithmetic sequence, right? So which means basically the 1, -1, -3, and -5. Now this is an arithmetic sequence. So now, and if you can continue and find out what is going to be the difference from there, now we are going to realize that the difference from here it's going to be same as -2, right? This, when you say -1, subtract 1. When you say -3, subtract -1. This is same as -2. This is same as also -2. Rather, are we together? So basically, which means now this -2, in terms of arithmetic difference, now this is going to be your difference, right? Now, which means basically, if you want to find out the general term is going to be Tn is equals to A plus into N subtract 1 close bracket D. Now, what is the A? Your A that you are having here, it's going to be the 1. So this is going to be 1 plus N subtract 1. The difference you've already found out as -2. So which means this is same as 1 plus, or rather this is going to be 1 minus 2N. This is going to be also, and plus what? This is going to be plus 2. Not okay, which means the Tn here it's same as -2 plus your 3, right? So basically that is going to be the Tn that they are looking for in here. Hopefully this makes sense. Let's continue. 2.2.3. Calculate the first term, or rather the first difference between the 35th and the 36th term of a quadratic sequence. Now, so what is it that you're going to do to calculate for those now? Now they want you to calculate what? The difference, right? Now, what is going to be the difference that you are going to calculate therefore in here? Now, in order for you to calculate the difference, let's see. Now, for you to calculate the difference, you are going to start here. You are going to say what is going to be your what? You are going to come back and substitute what is going to be your term 35, right? So if you can come back here and substitute what is going to be your term 35, what is it that you're going to do? Look, if you are saying term 35 is going to be same as -2 into what? -2 into 35, right? -2 into 35, and then this is going to be plus what? This is going to be plus your 3, right? And what is going to be the answer that you're going to find here? Now, then the answer that you're going to find here, it's going to be given by what? This is going to be close to you what? This is going to be same as negative what? 67. Once again, so basically that is going to be your term 35, right? So which means now, therefore, your they say calculate the first difference between the 31st and the 36th term, which means the difference here it's going to be what? It's going to be this -67, right? Why are we saying this is -67? Because remember, the your first difference between all of those terms is going to be calculated using this particular arithmetic sequence. Out again. So basically that's what you're going to do. Now let's see your term, your 2.2.3. They say determine an expression of an nth term of the quadratic sequence. Now, for you to determine the Tn, it's very easy, right? So whenever you want to determine the Tn, you are going to come back, do the first difference and the second difference. Luckily, here, ourselves, we've already done the first difference. This is the first one. This is the first difference. And this here, it is the second, right? So which means you can simply just come back here and now plug in. You are going to say, look, now your second difference is going to be equals to your 2a is going to be equals to your -2, which means your value of your a is going to be given by -1. Then the other one is going to be 3a plus b is equals to what? Is equals to your first term here, which is 1, right? So this is going to be 3 into -1, right? So this is going to be same as 3 into -1. And then what is going to be that plus your b? This is going to be equals to what? This is equals to 1, which means now the value of your b that you are going to find here, it's going to be, this is -3. When you take this other side, your b is going to be given by 4. Right? Then your c is going to be a plus b plus c, which is equals to what? Which is going to be equals to your -3 here, which is the first term, right? This is going to be a -3. So which means this is going to be -1 plus 4 plus c, which is equals to -3. Therefore, your value of your c that you are going to find here, this is going to be same as your 3. When you take this side, it's negative. So which means this is going to be same as -6, right? So basically, that is going to be your 2.2.3. Now, let's look at 2.2.4, right? They say show that the sequence will never contain a positive term. So now, how do you show that? Now, look, let's just make up our space here so that I can show you how do you do that. Now, to show that the sequence will never contain a positive term, basically here, what is it that you're going to do? Now, here, remember the sequence here, our Tn here, it's given by what? The Tn is given by -n squared plus 4n subtract 6 altogether. So it is going to be that. So now how can you determine that? So you can determine that by firstly, either you can do it, you are going to start by completing the square, right? Now you are going to check in terms of what is it that is going to happen if, let's say, you complete the square. So now when you are completing the square, what is it that you do? Right now, when completing the square, this is going to be same as what? This is going to be same as your this is going to be, when say you take out the negative sign here, this is going to be same as what? Now, how can you rewrite this? This is going to be same as n squared plus what? This is going to be n squared. Now, this is going to be minus 4n, right? This is going to be minus 4n. And now, and this is going to be minus 4n. And now this is going to be same as, now remember when completing the square, this is going to be now plus, remember you divide here, you divide by 2 here, this is going to be 2 squared. This is going to be same as subtract your 4 plus your what? Plus your 6 altogether. So basically, it is going to be that. And now what else now can you have here? So now what else now you can have here? Remember this negative, this plus 2 squared subtract 4, it's going to still give you 0, right? Which means this is still going to be the same thing. Look, when you say plus 4 minus 4, it still gives you 0, right? So which means now this is going to be negative again into what? Into now here. Let's see, this is going to be same as your n squared. You can say, let's say we remove the n squared. Now, let's say we deal with these, right? Let's say we deal with these. Now, this is going to be n, what? This is going to be n subtract 2 squared. Then, now, what is it that you're left with here? When you say -4 plus 2 or -4 plus 6, the answer that you're going to have here is going to be given by what? It is going to be given by 2. How to get? So which means then after, what is it that you're going to have? Now from here, this is going to be given by what? Your Tn here. Your Tn is now going to be given by negative into bracket your 2. Then this is going to be squared. Then when you multiply by this -2 outside, this is going to be your -2. How to get? Now they say it will never have the what? It will never have the positive term. So if you want to find out whether this will never have the positive term, now you are going to do what? You are going to say your Tn. Look, if you are checking, which means the Tn here will have the maximum value of -2, right? Which means the maximum value of it, it's going to be same as what? It's going to be same as your -2, right? So which means your Tmax here is going to be same as -2. If your Tmax is same as -2, so therefore you are going to have no positive term, right? You are going to have no positive term here. How to get another alternative way? Another alternative way that you can do to show that this sequence will never contain the positive value, you can do what? Remember that your Tn here is given by Tn is equals to -n squared plus 4n subtract what? Subtract your 6. Now, this one, you can still regard this as your what? This as your quadratic, or rather as your quadratic what functions, right? And if this is your quadratic function, you can use what you can use to find out what is going to be the turning point. You can start by finding what is going to be the turning point of this, right? Now, remember, if this is your quadratic pattern, or rather if this is your quadratic function, this is going to be a function that is going to be looking downward, because your value of your a here is given by negative, right? So which means now if you can find out the value of the turning point here, then you can determine in terms of whether is this going to have a positive term or not. Now let's find out what is going to be the turning point. Now whenever we find the turning point, we say x is equals to -b over your 2a. So what is going to be this one? This is going to be negative, and what is going to be the value of your b? It's given by 4 over 2 into your value of your a. It's given by what? It is given by -1. So this is going to be same as 2, or rather this is going to be same as -4 over -2, which is going to be +2. Now that is the x value. Now let's find out what is going to be the y value. When you say now what is going to be the t of 2, right? So which means when you come back here and say t of 2 there, this is going to be same as your negative into 2 squared. This is going to be plus 4 into 2, right? And then this subtract 6. Can you see that this 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. 8 subtract this. This is going to be +2. Then this is 4. 4 multiplied by this. This is -4. -4 plus 2. Then this is going to be your -2. Indeed, which means now your coordinate of your turning point will be what? Will be your 2 and what? And -2. And therefore, if it becomes your 2 and -2, if let's say we had to draw our graph, can you see that your 2 will be probably somewhere here and your -2 will be somewhere here, which means this graph will have a turning point that is going downward this way, which means therefore it is not going to have a positive term altogether, because it's not going to be touching your x intercept altogether. So basically, this is how you are going to find out this particular value. Hopefully this makes sense to you. Thank you very much.